Go ahead, turn it up. It's the Record Machine Show with your host, Jimmy Howe.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Cinema Stereo, singer, bassist Ian Rayha. How you doing, Ian?
Good, how you doing?
Pretty good. Where are you calling from?
We're calling from Cocoa Beach, Florida. We're on our way down to Pompano to play a show tonight.
Wow, very cool. Is the weather nice there today?
It's pretty nice, a little overcast, but it's in the 80s, a little warmer than Nashville, where it's been in the teens, a lot warmer.
Yeah, it's a little cool here. I'm in North Myrtle Beach. You ever been in Myrtle Beach yet or no?
Yeah, so like when I grew up in Virginia, so playing baseball and stuff, I'd have a lot of tournaments down in Myrtle Beach.
Tell me about your musical background. When did you first get involved in music?
It was really just like both my parents were like music listeners, so they would like show me things. Like I had a CD player. My mom she had like AC/DC's live album, and then she had like Aerosmith's greatest hits, and so I would play those, and I guess I must have shown an interest of wanting to play guitar, so because they signed me up for lessons, but I just don't really remember it. But around 6 or 7 years old, I started taking guitar lessons. I immediately started on electric because my instructor said I would get bored on acoustic if I couldn't make sound quickly. Okay. Because kids have their attention spans. So starting on electric was, I guess, cooler for a young kid. So I don't know. So I was always taking guitar lessons growing up, and I never had ambitions of being a musician or anything like that. It's kind of a side hobby. I was always more of a sports kid. So I was when I was a 10-year-old kid, I was I'm going to play in Major League Baseball. That was the big dream. But then as I got older, it started to seem like music was more in the forefront, and moving into young adulthood and stuff, that's when I wanted to start bands and all that kind of stuff.
Nice. Now, who were some of your biggest musical influences, and how have they shaped your style, would you say?
I think my biggest musical influence, the first band that got me into playing music, first couple bands were Def Leppard and Van Halen, because those are some of my parents' favorites. And then when I got into high school, I found David Bowie and Queen and T-Rex and a lot of the 70s stuff. Mm-hmm. And that was a different, I knew I wasn't I was never going to be a hair metal guy. I wasn't that wasn't the kind of music I knew I wanted to make. So when I found stuff like David Bowie and Queen, and then some of my friends were into newer bands like The Strokes and the Arctic Monkeys and Tame Impala. There was different kinds of genres of music, but all kind of had a common thread running through them. Mm-hmm. And I could see similarities in the styles of what I would want to do if I was to start a band.
Now tell me about the band. When did you guys form, and who were the players?
So we formed as a band in 2021, but me and the guitarist Sebastian have known each other since 2015. We just happened to be in one of the same it's a youth music program, kind of similar to a School of Rock kind of thing, where teens would get together and play cover songs under the instruction of someone that knew what they were talking about. And we just became close there, and we moved away from each other for a few years, but we're able to be reunited just coincidentally. He moved down to Orlando. I was looking for a place to go to school, and I got into college down here, so we just kind of reunited. And then through just looking for a drummer, putting out ads, we found Luke, and the rest is history. The
name of the band, Cinema Stereo, where did that derive from?
It's kind of just a weird falling asleep one night, trying to because you're tossed and just think about names and stuff. Uh-huh. And I was very into concept albums and bands ELO, and I wanted a name that was very broad and allowed the music not to seem it had to fit the name, sort of.
Okay.
So it's kind of just I've always viewed music as being very good music. It gives you a mood and a vibe, and it makes you feel you're in the room with the band. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of adding that visual element to something that's just purely sonic.
Nice. Now, this podcast is going to feature two of your tracks, No One Needs Your Love Like I Do, and Here Somehow. What's the story behind those two songs?
They're both very kind of spur of the moment stuff, where you for No One Needs Your Love is I had the verse, actually. I had a verse and a chorus, but it didn't have an intro guitar riff. And through just fiddling around the guitar, I found something cool, and I was wait a minute, I think this is actually in the same key as this song, or at least near it. And I put it together, and it just worked. And even the same for Here Somehow. Here Somehow was a very long song, but it seems it came together in 30 minutes. It was very, I say it almost feels I snatched it out of the air. It was written very quickly for as involved as it is.
Nice.
like I just heard it instinctually. Like it just felt right, and I just heard it that way.
Mm-hmm. In 2022, you guys released your self-titled album, Cinema Stereo. With the new singles out, will there be a full-length album coming out anytime soon?
I think like the plans for like we're gonna do a few singles and then release another EP. Probably like some five or six song EP. I don't know if there's any plans to do a full-length album till maybe like a label or something's in the works. I think we're gonna keep with like singles and EPs. And hopefully that keeps gaining attention, and then we can do something like more in depth later on.
I saw on your Facebook page, it looks like you're dropping another single February 2nd. You talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, that one we've been sitting on for a while. Like, it was recorded back in July, and just seems like it was just things like we moved, and that like put a hold on things, and then the studio it was recorded at underwent 2 months of renovations, so they weren't mixing at the studio. It just had a bunch of things that delayed the release of it. But I guess it ends up being like, a blessing, because now we're starting off the new year on the right foot. Nice.
And it's called Don't Want to Stay Up Unless It's With You, right? And that's February 2nd. Will there be a music video for that track as well?
That's the plan. So I think the plan for, the next few months is definitely release the song and then have a music video that goes alongside of it. Hopefully, the same thing happens for like the next single we're going to release. Yeah, you guys got a couple of music videos up on your YouTube page now. Do you like shooting the video as much as recording the song? I feel like recording, they're both stressful for different reasons, because you're always worried about the final product. Like, because when you're in there, it could feel good, and the producer or the videographer is telling you that it looks great and it's going to be great, when we edit it. But you always just feel kind of goofy, and you're always worried it's going to come out weird. So I feel like the process of making things is always stressful, but it's always ends up being better than, I guess, like how I feel in the moment. Nice. How do you guys go about composing a new song? Does the melody come first or the lyrics? At the same time. I primarily write like most of the stuff, and I'm not very good at having like lyrics first, then trying to put music to lyrics. Usually it's like I have to do it all at the same time. It has to be like one continuous feeling, because that's usually like what most of the songs that we have are. Is just, it's a feeling that I had in that moment and expressed, and then it came out that way. It was never like a thought out storyline that I was trying to tell. What tools or instruments are essential in your songwriting? Just an imagination. I feel like I write most of my songs without an instrument in my hand. Really? Nice. Because I feel like when you're holding an instrument, you can become predictable with things your hands want to do naturally, or even just like your vocabulary. But if you hear it in your head first, the notes will kind of be arranged in a way that you wouldn't have played instinctually. Now, you mentioned earlier you got a couple of shows coming up in Florida, and recently you played in Nashville at the 8th Room and the East Side Bowl. What were those experiences like? Those are really cool for like different reasons. So we've become good friends with the owner of the 8th Room, and so that's one of our favorite spots to play up there. But the East Side Bowl gig was for like there's a company called Breaking Sound, and they've put a lot of attention into put a lot of effort in trying to get attention on new artists. That was actually a pretty successful gig, and definitely I feel like we stuck out because it was mostly with like pop country or like singer-songwriter artists, and like being like the only like rock outfit that was there, we definitely like had the most energy and stood out and had the best crowd interaction, I would say, at that gig. So I'd say they're both successful for different reasons. Yeah, they're great. So when you were at the 8th Room, did you hang out with Jason Hollis? I did hang out with Jason Hollis. He's a good friend of mine. That guy's fucking awesome, isn't he? Yeah. I know him for a couple of years. I had a couple of his artists on my show, Jimmy Sweet, and I had 42 King on the show, and Film Speed as well. Yeah, no, he's been he's probably the reason we moved to Nashville, because he found us on YouTube, I think. He found Ride This Thing Out on YouTube, and he was like, I got to book this band. He sent us an email and was like, do you want to come play my room? And this was like last March. We come up there, and he's like, you got to move here. I can do this for you, that for you. The connections are here. And that was kind of like, we were already kind of iffy on Florida. Just the whole, I'd say like the music scene here is very political at times with the way things go. And we were kind of just feeling like it had run its course. We had a great time playing here, and we enjoyed coming down here to play shows, but it being a home base was starting to be strenuous. Yeah, it seems like a lot of musicians are
moving to Nashville. People leaving LA and going there as well.
It's just a centralized location because in living in Orlando, it would take us 4 hours just to get out of the state of Florida. But living in Nashville, we can drive 4 hours in any direction and play a bunch of different major cities.
Nice. Now, does Jason own that club or he manages it?
He owns that club. That's his baby. He built it from the floorboards up.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Literally scrubbed the the old dried cigarette smoke off the walls by hand.
Damn. Yeah, I haven't spoken to him in a couple of years. I had him on the show, but the last time I spoke to him, he lived in L.A. and he said he was moving to Nashville, and that was the last time I spoke to him.
Yeah, no, that place is his baby. Like the photos of when it was Douglas Corner to what it was now, and all the effort that went into that place is pretty insane.
So, you guys plan on playing there again anytime soon?
Might take a break from it for a while because that's the only for a while last year. I think we played there three times. We played Nashville was at that same club, so we're trying to spread our what would you say, Sebastian? Spread ourselves around the city a little bit more than just playing one club.
What can the fans expect when they go see Cinema Stereo live?
You can expect high energy. I'd say that's the one thing that I don't know if we've captured until the newest song, because our newest song is recorded live, which is different than what we usually do. We usually just kind of do the typical build it from the ground up, from the drums and the bass, guitar, etc. So I'd say when you come to see us live, you're going to get a lot of energy, much more so than I think you translates through when you're just listening to the song.
Nice. Now, do you have a website you'd like to promote?
We do have a website. It'd be cinemastereo.us. And on there, you can pre-save our newest single and get tickets to all of our upcoming shows. All
your social links on there as well?
Yes, they are.
Awesome. Now, is there anything you'd like to mention that we didn't talk about today?
We mentioned the new single, but I would just like to say that if you're a fan of bands like The Cars and Cheap Trick, you should definitely pre-save our new single, because I think it brings some life and some new energy to that style of music.
Awesome. Well, Ian, I want to thank you so much for taking out some time to chat with me today. I really dig the tunes, and I'm looking forward to hearing more great stuff from you guys in the future.
Thank you. I appreciate you reaching out to us. How'd you find out about us? I
saw you on Instagram, and I started watching your videos on YouTube, and I'm like, wow, these guys are cool. And then when I saw The Eighth Room, I remembered, Jason had said he was, had something to do with the club. So I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. They must be really good if they're aligned with him. So I figured I'd message you guys.
He does say that. He always says, I wouldn't be friends with you. I wouldn't talk to you if I didn't think you were good. No, I was thinking blowing smoke up my ass.
Nah, he's a straight shooter, that cat. He's a good guy, though.
Yeah, no, he is. He's like, I don't lie to anybody. He's like, I tell you what I feel straight up.
Well, when you see him again, tell him that James said hi. He'll remember who I am.
What's funny is when you messaged and I saw your face, it's funny you say you haven't seen him in a few years, because I was convinced. I'm like, I feel like I ran into this guy at the Eighth Room.
Yeah, maybe there's a guy that looks like me out there somewhere.
Doppelganger.
Yeah, maybe. It's possible. I got to get out there, though. I've never been to Nashville yet, and they do
really?
And they do like a podcast. It's like a podcast festival or something there every year, and I've always wanted to go, but the last 2 years I had things going on, so I hadn't gotten the chance to get out there. But I definitely want to.
Yeah, you definitely should. I mean, it was a city that we'd never been to until touring a year and a half ago, and we'd always viewed it from the outside looking in as oh, it's just country music, and that's not our vibe. We're not gonna like it there. Mm-hmm. And then we toured and met some bands from there, and we were like, all right, we'll move here.
Yeah, everybody I've talked to that's moved there, they love it. So
it's just being around like-minded people. That's just been the thing. Being in Orlando, we're the only band of our genre, so it's just you kind of just felt like the odd man out all the time. Mm-hmm. But being around like-minded people that all are trying to strive for the same thing, the competition level's much higher, but I feel like that raises your level as well. So it's good to be around good players.
It helps, I think.
Yeah, because you can get complacent. When if you're the best band in your scene, then there's nowhere to go. There's no, I guess, urgency. Mm-hmm.
So you guys are in Florida for a couple of days, and then you're gonna go back to Nashville?
Yeah, we're in Florida. We have shows the next 5 days in a row. So we'll be playing Pompano, Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville. Nice. Just playing most of the major Florida markets. And then we head back up to Nash, and then we have a Nashville show and a St. Louis show coming up with a band that's pretty TikTok famous. They're called Never Ending Fall.
Nice. Sounds pretty cool.
Cool stuff coming up.
Well, best of luck with all the shows, and keep in touch. The next time you guys put out an album or something like that, I'd love to have you back on, all right?
Yeah, sounds good. We'd love to be back on. I appreciate you reaching out to us.
Well, you're welcome, and thanks for doing it, and let's stay in touch, all right?
All right, sounds good.
All right, take care, buddy.
Take care. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Record Machine Show is a weekly radio podcast produced by Jimmy Howell Productions. All rights reserved. For information regarding distribution or adding this podcast to your website, please visit our contact page at therecordmachineshow.com to submit your request. Thanks for listening. See you next time on The Record Machine Show.
The Record Machine Show.